Hi folks. Well, to the good people in Japan, it's happened. The liberals from the United States slithered across the Pacific, now landed in Japan to ruin Japan. That's their goal. Recently in Tokyo, or some other cities in Japan, there was some demonstrations. Black Lives Matter demonstration. Yeah! Their lives matter because of what's happening in the United States. Then why are you in Japan? Let's continue with that. The New York Times, an extreme liberal newspaper, we call it the New York Slime, had an article in reference to these unfortunate Black Lives Matter souls who happen to live in Japan. Yeah. And they led the demonstrations, the protests, the awareness of the Black Lives Matter movement in Japan. Because the Japanese need to be concerned about what's happening in America. Because according to these souls living in Japan, it's happening here in Japan also. You Japanese need to be aware of racism there in Japan. So says the article, according to them. Yeah, but you're racist in Nihon, in Nippon, which I really don't understand. If there was racism in Japan, how come I was not a victim of such racism? I think I made about 10 trips to Japan over the years, and I've traveled from Okinawa all the way up to Hokkaido, the big cities, the countryside, the small cities. Never once that I feel discriminated against. So please, don't, if you're going to discriminate against somebody in Japan, it should have been this one. Because I'm totally different than all. That's what you normally discriminate against, right? Those who are different and didn't experience any of that there. The article then goes on to mention that they're there because the Japanese, once again, need to think about racism in Japan. Yeah. Forget about the racism in America, because we're here now to point out the racism in Japan, so says they. And they also went on, according to the article, we're concerned about the racism in Japan because we live here now. Well, if you think there's racism in Japan, get the Hades out of there. As we used to say here in America, you either love it or you leave it. You're in Japan, you either love it or you leave it. And you feel you're going to have to stay in Japan because it's your responsibility, it's your duty to right a wrong that you perceive in Japan. No, it isn't. Leave that to the Japanese people. They've been there over 2,700 years without your help. They'll be there another 2,700 years without your help or my help. The Japanese are quite capable of handling the situations in that country without you, except for one topic tonight. Me! I have to let you know. I have to let you know about the evil of liberalism creeping across the Pacific into Nihon with one goal. The goal is to ruin it. And then in the article they continue on to write, the racists in Japan are conservatives. You did not know that? If you're conservative, you're a racist. According to them. Yeah, and usually conservatives love their country. So if you love your country, you only love it because you're a racist. And if you love Japan, well, you're a racist because Japan's a racist country. If I love America, which I do, it's only because I'm a racist because I love America, right? According to the New York Times, and according to these liberal activists that are now planted themselves in Nihon, in Japan, to ruin your culture as they ruined ours. I'm urging the good people in Japan, ignore them. Do not participate in any of their events. Don't get involved in a debate or a discussion with them. Just ignore them. Treat them as if they are a flea off an elephant's back. Ignore them. They mean you no good. We'll see you. God bless you. God bless America. God bless the nation you happen to be, and God bless our good friends and trusted allies in the land of the rising sun, Nihon, Japan, Nippon. See you.